The latest 7th generation Volkswagen Golf has made a huge splash since its introduction, winning numerous awards, including the World and North American Car of the Year. This is the 2015 Volkswagen Golf GTI based on the Mark 7 Golf. And let me tell you, this is a hot hatch. I'm really excited to test this GTI because I think it might make for a great second car for the family. We have a family of 4 now, that's not including pets, and we have a new Highlander and a BMW X3. The X3 was fine when we only had 1 baby, but now with 2, it's mainly the Highlander, leading me to think that the X3 can go and be replaced by something a little sportier but could pull its weight when asked for family duties. Enter the GTI. Sporty, fun to drive, versatile, and half the price of the X3. I'd like to know what you think. Leave a comment below here after you watch the review and let me know if you think this GTI should stay in this driveway. There is no facelift here. The Mark 7 Golf is totally redesigned right down to its architecture. Now using Volkswagen's new global MQB platform, the Golf is now lighter, stiffer, and bigger. As with previous GTIs, this one takes the Golf to another level in terms of styling and performance. It subtly screams out, "I'm not like the others." The edges are now more squared out, yet everything is being tweaked to be more aerodynamic. Now on the inside, you have a larger cabin due to the new MQB platform. A lot of soft touch materials, looks very upscale, like a very premium vehicle. In the center, you have your dual gauges. They angle toward each other a little bit, and the center console also angles toward the driver, making you really feel like you're in a cockpit. Speaking of cockpit, the steering wheel, that is one thing that I always harp on, especially if you have a really nice car and the steering wheel's kind of below par. Volkswagen didn't skimp on it at all. Really nice leather covered steering wheel, flat bottom. You have nice chrome accents with the GTI. Unfortunately, it still has the buttons for volume. I wish it had the Audi volume wheels. Onto the infotainment center here, 5.8-inch screen, touch screen, I must say. The graphics are not as crisp as I think they could be, but the entire system is very easy to use. Below that, you have your HVAC system. And then it comes to a complaint that I have is in the center, you have a plug in here, and it is a proprietary plug. Here it is right here. This happens to be the Thunderbolt plug for an Apple device. Now, there is no standard USB plug here, so whatever device you have to have a separate plug for it. So if you have an Apple and your wife has an Android, or maybe she's got an iPhone 6 and you have an iPhone 5, you need 2 plugs, maybe 3 plugs, depending on what devices you're plugging in here. So Volkswagen, if you're listening or watching this review, please put a USB plug in. Also, the seats, this one comes with the traditional plaid GTI seats. Leather seats are available as an option. So overall, a great looking and functional interior. Backup cameras are standard on all GTIs except the base model. The GTI comes in a 3 or 5 door version. I'd get the 5-door option mainly because 2 doors are a no-no for loading kids, and second, I think the Golf looks way better with 4 doors. All the doors open very wide, which makes loading even easier. The back can carry 3 adults with no problem, or in my case, 2 infant car seats. Now, most of the time, we'll still be using the Highlander, but this is just perfect for the odd time I need to go pick up the kids. The heart of the GTI is what's under the hood. It's a 2-liter direct injected turbocharged engine putting out 210 horsepower. Now, the version we have here right now is the performance package, which gives you an extra 10 horsepower, giving it 220 horsepower. But not only does it give you that, it also gives you a locking front differential, gives you really sexy red GTI calipers, and it gives you dynamic chassis control. And with that dynamic chassis control, it actually monitors the road surface and it adjusts the dampers electronically to adapt to the surface and the performance driving that you want to drive. It's a great feature. I highly recommend the performance package. Now that's all put through to either a 6-speed manual, or the one we have here is a 6-speed DSG with Tiptronic transmission. It also has paddle shifters, by the way, on the performance model. The shifts are very, very quick and crisp, as you can feel here, and you get that nice little bit of a blip. It's great sounding. And what I really like about the GTI, and why I'm considering it for my second vehicle when I get rid of my other SUV is the drive modes. Right now, we're in comfort mode right now. It's very easy to steer in the city. It's very comfortable. The ride's very cushy. The transmission, really quick shifts. So you're up to the top gear very quickly. So there's no jerkiness whatsoever, and it saves fuel. From there, we can go to normal, which is a little bit more spirited drive, but then we hit sport. Right away, the transmission, it kicks down a gear, the motor sounds different. The car really, really livens up and really wakes up. Now, this is what I like. Most of the time, I'm gonna be driving this car by myself, and it's probably gonna be in sport mode a lot of times, but on the occasion that I need to take the family out or go pick the kids up, I don't want that jarring ride, I don't want all that vibration and the noise. I can just go and select and go back to comfort mode, and it's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. We've got two cars in one. Now, if you really want to go for the gusto, you can go with the top dog of the Golf family, which is the Golf R. That's their all-wheel drive variant, putting out almost 300 horsepower, and it starts at about $40,000, which isn't that bad considering it's pretty well all loaded up. Last year, I tested the Ford Fiesta ST, and I said that was one of the most fun cars I've driven that year, and I still stand by that. This car is very similar in the fun factor. I love driving this car. It's just, you throw it around, it feels kind of like a go-kart, but with good suspension, and you can adjust that if you want. Except it has more room than the Fiesta, of course, because it's bigger, and it's definitely a lot more refined. It's got a premium upscale look and feel to it. You'd feel just at home picking up the kids from soccer in this as you would driving on the Autobahn. The GTI really is a good value, especially in my case when I'm looking for something that has some practicality, yet I don't give up on the fun factor. 220 horsepower for this one here because it has the performance package. They start at $27,000 for the 3-door, and like this one here, it goes up to about $37,000, which is a lot of car for the money. You know what? Volkswagen means the people's car, and that's exactly what the Golf is. There is a Golf for everyone. Whether you want a gas version, maybe you want to be a little thriftier, go with the TDI. Need a little more room, go with the new Sport Wagon. Or you want to up the ante and go to something with a little more performance like this GTI, or even to the top dog, the Golf R with 300 horsepower and all-wheel drive. You know, the GTI's 40 years old now, and by the looks of this one, I can't see this car going anywhere anytime soon.